Hello and welcome to Galaxy TV News. My name is Irebami Salako. We begin with headlines. President Bola Tinubu relieves 5 ministers in his cabinet of their appointments with immediate effect. Plus, on the news, House of Representatives Directors Committee on Power to investigate frequent national grid collapse and provide report within 3 weeks. From the international scene, King Charles arrives in Samoa for a 4-day state visit, where he will preside for the first time over a gathering of Commonwealth presidents and Prime Minister. Details of these and more coming your way soon. To stay with us. Many thanks for joining us at this time. Now details of the news. President Bola Tinubu has relieved 5 ministers in his cabinet of their appointments with immediate effect. The affected ministers include Barrister Uju Kennedy Ohaneye, Minister of Women Affairs, Lola Adejan, Minister of Tourism, Professor Tahir Maman, Minister of Education, Abdullah Mohammed Gwarzo, Minister of State Housing and Urban Development, and Dr. Jamila Bill Ibrahim, Minister of Youth Development. The development was confirmed by Bayo Onanuga, Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy on Wednesday. Also appointed are the former Minister of Sports Development, Sunday Dari, who is now Special Advisor to the President on Public Communication and National Orientation to work with the Minister of Information and National Orientation. Also appointed is the wife of the former Biafra warlord Odumegwu Ojukwu, Ambassador Frank Ojukwu, who is now to serve as the Honorable Minister of State for Foreign Affairs. Recall that President Tinubu has threatened to sack some of his ministers found to have underperformed in the last 1 year since the administration came on board. The Federal Executive Council renamed the Niger Delta Ministry. The ministry is henceforth to be known as the Federal Ministry of Regional Development. Minister of Information Mohammed Idris made the announcement after Wednesday's Federal Executive Council meeting held at the Presidential Villa on Wednesday. Mohammed said all regional development commissions will now be under the new ministry. The aim, according to him, is to resolve proliferation of agencies and to enable adequate coordination of developmental projects and issues across the country. Mohammed also scrapped the Ministry of Sport. He said every activity of the ministry will now be handled by a National Sports Commission, which was the case of sports development in the country. Also scrapped was the Ministry of Culture. Mohammed said that the ministry will now be known and called the Federal Ministry of Art, Culture, Tourism and Creative Economy. And now to talk about the issue of President Tinubu's scrapping and merging ministries, we have Dr. Shola Adeosho, a public affairs analyst and a lecturer. Good evening and thank you so much for joining us in the news. Alright, so earlier today, the President announced the scrapping of the Niger Delta Ministry and Ministry of Sports Development, just as FEC also approved the merger of Ministry of Tourism with the Ministry of Culture and Creative Economy, which is creating a single entity. So, sir, what do you make of this development?
Every administration in this country normally with one modification or the other. And what we have just heard about the current administration is not new. But scrapping some ministries and modifying some ministry is not a problem. But what is the impact? Or what will be the impact of this scrapping? Or what will be the impact of this modification? How will it affect positively the life of common men on the street? How will it reduce hardship and poverty in Nigeria? How will it ensure that there is security of life and property? How will it ensure that there is food abundantly? Then, these are the questions we need to ask ourselves. Fine, one will be thinking that scrapping some of those ministries and modifying others will bring about effectiveness and efficiency in governance of Nigeria. But look at the cost of running these ministries. In the past, we've been saying that the budgetary allocation on yearly basis to each of these ministries in Nigeria is indirectly telling us that we are spending too much on governance, and there is need for us to adjust and reduce the cost on this running of this ministry. But scrapping of this ministry now, we want to see how it will reduce the cost of governance and how it will facilitate economic, political, social development of our nation. So if it happens after this modification in the ministry, scrapping of ministry, then we can now say the government has taken the right direction, the right step in the right direction. But until then, I think we need to watch out what will be the implication of scrapping of this ministry or modification of this ministry, whether it will bring about positive development to Nigerians.
All right, so if we are to go by that, the average song on the lips of our Nigerians is lamenting hardship caused by Tinubu's administration. So does this development not reflect the yearning of Nigerians since they are clamoring for Tinubu's cabinet reshuffling as the call is being intensified?
Yes, to me. Nobody comes from another country as the new minister that will replace those who have been removed. And the new ministries that are coming up under the word scrapping or modification, I think it's still the same Nigerian who had the same intention of going there to either make money for themselves or satisfying their immediate family. So scrapping the ministry or modifying the ministry is not an issue, but the behavior of Nigerians as well. Have we made up our mind that we want to use our office to facilitate development? We want to use our office to reduce poverty and hardship in Nigeria. Is it not the same mindset that, yes, some ministers have been removed, some ministers have been modified, and we have just been appointed? This is our turn to go and get our national cake at the detriment of Nigerians generally. So if we keep changing people, modifying ministry, scrapping some, without changing our attitude, our mindset, our culture, our orientation of corruption, I don't think scrapping of ministry, modifying ministry, without modifying our character, our value, our culture, our orientation, our mindset, will bring any positive change to Nigeria, rather than giving people opportunity to go there and get their national cake under corruption.
What would you advise the president to do as it relates to other ministries that you feel have not lived up to expectations?
Like Ministry of maybe development or the regional development, I look at certain things that may come from there in form of positive changes. Like it will enable those who are going to occupy that position as minister to see themselves as Nigerians rather than looking at themselves from one region or the other. So if they see themselves as Nigerians, they will see the opportunity they have to work in those ministries to serve Nigerians generally, irrespective of whether we are from South, we are from North, we are from East, or we are from Central. So that is what I think will happen there. But beyond that, how do we reduce the cost of governance? How will those money that we are not going to spend in those ministries that have been scrapped, how will it affect the lives of Nigerians positively? Is it not still going to be the same scenario we still continue to witness because the cost of governance is too much? Until we do what? We'll reduce the cost of governance and even prove to the Nigerians that scrapping of this ministry has been like wasting of money in the past. Now we have scrapped them. These are the money we can get from there, and this is where we are channeling this money to. And we begin to see how this will reduce hardship, poverty, and how it will help other sectors like the power, the petroleum resources, security, health, and so on and so forth. Until when this happens, we will continue to see recycling of old politicians under new arrangement of a new ministry. irrespective of name we call it. That is not what really matters. What matters is that have we changed our attitude? Those that are newly appointed, are they going to do the same thing in different way to give us different results?
All right, so quickly before we let you go, what would be your advice to the ministers who were sacked going forward?
Whatever beginning was happening, right from the day they were given appointment, they should know that anytime, any day, they could be asked to go out. And in the part of the president, I can see him coming up with a leadership quality of giving people responsibility and look back to evaluate their performance to know whether they are doing well or not. But those that have just been appointed, I pray that they will learn from what has happened, that anytime, any day, their performances will be evaluated. And if they perform below expectation, there's a tendency they may be removed on ceremonial stage. Or if they perform well, they will be given more responsibility.
All right, thank you so much for joining us on Galaxy TV News at this time. We truly appreciate your presence.
Thank you.
All right, that's Dr. Shola Adeosho, a public affairs analyst and a lecturer. Now, moving on to other stories. The Minister of Works, Engineer David Umahi, has issued a 7-day ultimatum to Julius Berger to accept the federal government's offer of 740.79 billion naira and complete 32-kilometer Section 2 of the Abuja-Kaduna-Zaria-Kano Expressway. The ultimatum was issued on Wednesday during a courtesy visit to the minister by the new managing director of Julius Berger PLC, Dr. Pierre Lubash, accompanied by the firm's outgoing managing director, Dr. Lars Richter, at the ministry's headquarters in Abuja. A statement later signed by the special advisor to the Minister of Works, Oju Chena, noted that Julius Berger risks termination of the contract if it does not accept the offer. The minister called on the Julius Berger PLC to show corporate patriotism by accepting the federal government's approved reviewed total contract sum of 740,797,204,713 naira 25 kobo for the completion of the rehabilitation of the 82-kilometer Section 2 of the Abuja-Kaduna-Zaria-Kano road contract, he stated. Umahi was of the opinion that if Berger no longer interested, others should be allowed to do the job and within the time so as to control price. The House of Representatives has directed its committee on power to investigate the frequent national grid collapses and provide a report within 3 weeks. The decision followed the motion of urgent national importance raised by Honorable Mansour Manosoro Bauchi during the plenary session. In this motion, Honorable Soro expressed deep concern over the persistent grid failures which have plunged the entire country into blackout, worsening the economic challenges already faced by Nigerians. He stressed that stable power supply is essential for driving economic growth and development in any nation.
Is informed that the Nigerian nation has continued to witness unending power grid collapses with 8 incidences occurring in 2024 so far. The House is disturbed that the entire states in the northeast, northwest, and some part of the north central zones has been thrown into darkness over the last 2 days in what the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, described as faulty transmission lines.
The House of Representatives also called on the federal government to declare a state of emergency in Nigeria's sports sector to address challenges and revitalize the industry. Honorable Kabiru Hamadu, who raised the motion, expressed concern over the decline of Nigeria's sports industry over the past 2 decades, particularly in basketball, boxing, football, and athletics. He attributed this decline to poor administration, mismanagement, and negligence by officials, citing the omission of favorably from the 100-meter event at the 2024 Olympics as an example.
For over 2 decades, Nigerian sport industry has declined significantly, with less progress in prominent African sports like basketball, boxing, football, and athletics. Factors contributing to this decline include inadequate administration, mismanagement, and carelessness from officials. An example is the omission of Pivo Opili from the 100-meter event at the Olympic 2024, yet to be identified by the Nigerian officials.
You're still on to the news on Galaxy TV. Let's go on a break. When we come back, the news continues. Many thanks for staying with us. Now for more updates and latest news, please visit our website www.galaxytvonline.com. Connect with thoughts on our X handle at Galaxy TV. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Galaxy TV News. You can follow and interact with thoughts on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Galaxy TV. Remember to follow and tag us on our Instagram page at Galaxy TV. Our social media platforms are user-friendly and can always accommodate your live updates and comments, as you can easily scan our IG QR code. Administrators across universities, polytechnics and colleges of education have insisted the centralized nature of administration will destroy tertiary education in Nigeria. To other members, IPPIS cannot solve anything but will only enhance corruption and create obstacles for education peculiar system. Galaxy News correspondent Labi Joseph tells us more in this report.
Integrated Payroll and Personal Information System (IPPIS) was conceptualized in October 2006 as a way to improve the effectiveness and efficiency in the storage of personal records and administration of monthly payroll in such a way to enhance confidence in staff. As it stands on this system is that it will create more problems than the one it originally set out to curb.
IPPIS is a system that is alien to the university system, and we are grateful that the wisdom of our union in challenging IPPIS ab initio had come to fore. We are only surprised that rather than moving forward, our administrators are taking us backward.
And I think the benefit they are getting from that, the people behind the IPPIS, is the reason why we are still where we are. Don't forget that the president of this nation gave an order that university should be taken out of that IPPIS. Up to today, as we are still speaking, the only thing we heard is that by 25th of this month, October, university will finally be removed out of that corrupt platform called IPPIS.
ASUU is of the opinion that the centralized nature of IPPIS will erode the powers of provosts and governing councils of higher learning institutions, since the head of the civil service often had to determine what staffers were employed and when.
In a university, in accordance with the laws establishing the university is empowered to develop courses, develop areas of knowledge, and should be able to attract experts, intellectuals, knowledgeable in that area, and give them the job. But when you now take away the power to be able to do that and put it in one person in Abuja for about 80-something universities, certainly you know that you are killing that system, killing initiative in our system.
IPPIS doesn't know that university lecturer could be working here and has the right to take a sabbatical for 1 year to be in another university. And by sabbatical rule, if a lecturer takes that, I will be paid in my former university, in my university, and I will be paid where I'm doing sabbatical. That to IPPS is what they tell you people, ghost worker. It does not capture that. That is alien to IPPS. It doesn't even know.
ASUU has proposed the Unified Treasury Accounting System UTAS as an alternative, subjecting it to the government's integrity test, and hopefully this will not lead to another face-off as federal government sets out to remove ASUU from IPPIS by 25th of this month. From Lagos, this is Lebi Joseph reporting for Galaxy TV News.
Now, we move to the international desk for more news.
Hello and welcome to the Foreign News. King Charles has arrived in Samoa for a 4-day state visit where he will preside over for the first time over a gathering of Commonwealth presidents and prime ministers. Prime Minister Fiami Naomi Mataafa greeted the King and Queen Camilla at Faleolo International Airport, where a red carpet had been rolled out amid high winds and last-minute vacuum cleaning. The Royal Samoan Police Band began playing as the couple alighted and met local officials. The King and Queen, who ended their 6-day tour of Australia on Tuesday, posted a message on social media saying they couldn't wait to arrive in Samoa and experience the warmth of the country's ancient traditions. The tweet included the 4 words in Samoan, which loosely translated as "looking forward to meeting the Samoan people." Samoa, a small country in the central South Pacific Ocean, made up of an archipelago of 9 islands, is hosting a Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting which has the theme "One Resilient Common Future." The King, as head of the Commonwealth, will formally open the event that will also be attended by Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer. Charles deputized for Queen Elizabeth II during the last CHOGM staged by Rwanda in 2020, and in Samoa will be joined by Foreign Secretary David Lammy. The route from the airport to Apia, Samoa's capital, had been spruced up for the royal visit on Wednesday.
And that's it for now, but do join us at 9 p.m. for our prime time news. My name is Iribami Salako. See you then.